You know, he had all the momentum behind him. He's the Attorney General.
He's a Cuomo.
He's a Cuomo. He's the status Cuomo, according to Mr. Paladino. But the Republican nominee is making a race of this by having this mantra, this saying, he's mad as hell, and he's very rich. Carl Paladino showed how mad he was yesterday.
He was. He got into it with a reporter. This is a well-known reporter here in New York. He has been covering politics for many, many years. This confrontation, though, maybe he hasn't seen in his entire career. Watch this.
I want to know why you sent your goons after my daughter.
I sent no one after.
Oh, I want to know, Fred. I want to know
your charge against Cuomo. Do you have the evidence or do you not?
Fred, fingers don't.
I will, at the appropriate time, you're going to hear it.
He's got three daughters. How can you say that about him?
Oh, I have a daughter too, Fred.
You talked about her.
I have a daughter.
You brought it out.
Fred, that's it.
Stay away from me. Heck with you. What evidence do you have?
Listen, all right?
You ever hear about when did you stop hitting your wife?
You send one of your goons after my daughter? Send it one more time. You're his bird dog.
You made the charge.
You send another goon to my daughter's house and he'll take you out, buddy.
You're going to take me out?
Yeah.
How are you going to do that?
Watch.
What are you, threatening me?
Yeah, just watch. The guy who's trying to mediate there, Michael Caputo, who is Paladino's guy, his strategist and whatnot. And what started that was the fact that over the last week or two, the media here in New York, the tabloids have been fixated on Carl Paladino, who had an extramarital affair while married, obviously, and has a 10-year-old love child. And he's saying the double standard. You sent your goons, your reporters, to get a picture of my daughter, but why hasn't anybody ever asked Andrew Cuomo about his paramours, about his affairs? And that had never been said in public, and so they wanted to know, where's that coming from?
Well, we should make sure to say alleged affairs for Andrew Cuomo, because Paladino offered no evidence, and that was how this whole spat then started. But I have to say, after seeing that now, that reporter was in his face. I mean, that reporter, it almost seemed like he was working on behalf of Cuomo, almost, a little bit. Well, so I mean, I'm not going to defend what Paladino said at the end, because that did sound like a threat. And this is what people have been upset about Paladino, is that he's sort of an off-the-cuff guy.
Right. But
they say, look, you really have a shot in this race, so maybe you should not have these moments.
But don't go after his daughter. Don't send somebody to track down a 10-year-old kid. I mean, that's the message I got. That's over the line.
Right. You know, his son passed away in a tragic car accident. He told his wife at that time, you know what, I've had an affair, and I want you to meet your daughter. The son actually knew the daughter, but his wife never knew the daughter. Right. So it's a convoluted story, which reporters are saying, this is unbelievable. Sure. We got to find out about this. But he did think it's double standard because, remember, Andrew Cuomo was married to a Kennedy. Right. And all of a sudden, Bobby Kennedy's daughter, all of a sudden the marriage breaks up, and he's accusing Andrew Cuomo of cheating on her, got kicked out of the house. He said, why don't you pursue that story?
Right, exactly. And then when asked, well, where's the proof about the extramarital affairs for Mr. Cuomo, he said, all in due time. Meanwhile, let's talk a little bit about something that happened at the end of last week. That was when Stephen Colbert was called by Congress to come up and testify. And John Conyers said